so much for joining me for today's YouTube live tutorial. I'm super excited to be here with you. I'm sorry I had to cancel last week. I double booked myself. So I'm happy to be here with you. I'm just gonna move my camera a little bit in. I apologize for the movement there. Okay, so today's card, I'm using the Snailed It Bundle. It's super cute with these super fun like snails and kind of mushrooms and whatnot. And I'm going to give you a couple tips and tricks when using the cling stamp. So all of Stampin' Up's stamps come either cling, which is like our red rubber, right? And then photopolymer. And the nice thing about photopolymer is that they're clear. Do I have one? Of course I don't have one like right next to me. Hold on, let me grab one. Yeah. Okay, so these are our photopolymer ones and they're clear. This is the pretty perennials. I'm not using it today, but just to give you an idea of what they look like. So they're clear. So when you're looking to do like two-step stamping or get an exact placement, our photopolymer is really great. Really easy to use, super user-friendly, and whatnot. But if you're using our red rubber, like the Snailed It Bundle is, exact placement might be a little tricky just because you can't see through it. And so if you do anything like me, you kind of like guess, you're like, I think that's right, but I'm not exactly sure. And then you kind of hope for the best. So I have a tip I'm going to share with you how to get pretty near perfect. I'm not going to say perfect because I'm sure it's not going to necessarily work every single time, but a pretty exact placement when designing a card. So let's just dive right in and we'll get started. And I just realized I forgot my bone folder every single time. I forget my bone folder and I have no clue where it is. Okay, I'm going to just use a block. So my card base here is Poppy Parade cardstock, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And if you're looking to see the colors that I'm using today, I'm using Poppy Parade, Balmy Blue, and Pear Pizzazz. I really like these colors today. The Poppy Parade is just a very bright, vibrant red mixed with these more muted colors. I just really like them together. So I'm scoring here at, oops, 5, not 5.5, 4.5. I'm going to go that way. And I can't find my bone folder. Of course, I never can. It always seems to disappear. I really need to have like 3 of them and put like a GPS tracking device on them or something because I always am losing them. And I never have them ready for my lives. So it's kind of a running joke. Okay, I have another panel of Poppy Parade. This is the exact card front size, so 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I already ahead of time embossed it using the brick and mortar embossing folder. I thought, yeah, there we go. This is what that looks like. And it's got this really great texture. And it's not, I don't know if you can tell, but all the bricks aren't like one even height or depth or whatever you want to call it. They're kind of like different. Some are higher than others. Some have a little bit more detail than others. So really great texture on this embossing folder. I really like it. And I'm just going to adhere this down. I'm going to use my liquid glue, although I do have my Stampin' Seal refills. I'm so excited. They came in. I was missing them. So just going to put this on my card front just to cover it. And it should dry pretty quickly. And that's it to our card base. Now we're going to get started at sort of like the scene that I'm creating here. Okay, so to create the scene, I am going to use the Stamparatus, which I have over here. And I'm going to try and describe, oh, I apologize, you're getting my lights. Let's see, can I move it that way? There we go. Okay, so the Stamparatus is a great tool when trying to get good placement. It's also good to do multiple stamping. For example, if you've ever stamped something down and you're like, oh, that's not as bright as I wish it was, you can just keep stamping it and you get a more vibrant color from it. And I do that a lot with my memento. I find that sometimes just stamping it once, it doesn't get the vibrant stamp that I want, the vibrant color, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so the Stamparatus is a great tool for that. You will notice that there are 2 hinges Okay. And this is great. As you can see, I have a stamp on either hinge. And so you can either, and actually the other day I had this set up to go and then I needed to use the Stamparatus. And so all I did is I just took the hinge off, flipped it around, and I put my stamp on this side. And so you could actually have 4 stamps on your hinges and get pretty good placement. So 2 different hinges, and I do have a stamp on either one of those. So weird, I didn't get a notification that you were live. Oh gosh, I don't know. Huh. Gotta love technology. That's all I have to say. I'm gonna take these off because I want to show you how I got like the placement that I want, the trick that I'm gonna share with you today. So I'm using the images from the Snailed It. I think I showed you before. Really kind of cute. I love punny sentiments. So you Snailed It, love it. And these guys are really cute. I'm using this one here with the mushrooms, and I did some masking, or actually I don't think, did I mask it? I don't even remember. I think I did mask it. It's going back a little ways. I did this card like 2 weeks ago thinking I was going to share it last week. So anyways, okay, so I'm using the mushroom and the one snail that has the "You've Got Mail" sentiment on it, but we're not going to do that quite yet. First, I'm going to take a panel of basic white. This is, let me get you my exact measurements. I don't dare go off of memory. Oh my goodness. 3 3/4 by 5. And you're going to need 2 blending brushes. I have one for my Pear Pizzazz, one for my Balmy Blue. And you're also going to need just a piece of copy paper. Or if you have a big sheet of like a Post-it note, that would work as probably a little bit better, but I didn't have that. So I'm just using a piece of copy paper here. And using the blending brushes, I'm going to add just an ever so subtle touch of color to the top and the bottom of my card. This one here, I'm going to use the copy paper in order to get a straight line. However, for the Balmy Blue, I'm just going to kind of start at the top and have it sort of fade down. Okay. So I'm going to do my, oh, you know what I did? I just remembered what I did. Hold on. Let me grab a piece. I got to find one here. A piece of washi tape. I forgot I did it this way. So I forget what I did 2 weeks ago. I don't know about you, but my memory is horrible. I'll make a card and then like go to blog it afterwards. And I'm like, oh, sugars, what color was that? Okay, so I'm going to sort of measure where my grass line, so to speak, is going to be. Then I'm going to take a piece of washi tape. I forgot I did this, but now I'm remembering. Piece of washing tape, and I'm going to put it on the back. Now, I'm putting it on the back because sometimes, even though washi tape is, you know, a very light adhesive, every now and then it will tear the cardstock. So if I were to put the tape here, well, first of all, you would see that and that would mess it up. But if I put it on the back and I pull it off and it rips a little bit of this back here, no one sees it. It's not really ruining anything. So I have one of my blending brushes, and I'm going to use first the Pear Pizzazz. And I put the washi tape, I'm still going to have to hold down my paper here, but I put the washi tape so that it's not necessarily moving, and I kind of I'm committed, so to speak. And I'm looking at this. I'm not sure. Is that straight? That's pretty straight. Okay. I wanted to be sure. So with our blending brushes, you're just going to very gently, a little bit of pressure, pick up color using your blending brush. I like to hold mine kind of on the low side. I don't usually hold it out here. I like to have a little bit more control over it. So I hold it on the low side, and circular motions, I'm just picking up the color. Then off, I'm going to do it over here, off on my scrap paper, I'm going to start to kind of just get like that initial bulk color off. And in circular motions, I'm just going to apply that color. Now, I'm not going for anything too dark. You know, I don't need to worry about getting an immense amount of color, and I can just flip that up and see, and that's good. I really just wanted a touch of green on the bottom. I'm not looking for anything too vibrant. That's kind of why I went with Pear Pizzazz. It's on the lighter side. I could have also done like a soft sea foam, would have been another color too, on the lighter side, of green. Okay, so I'm done with that. Now I'm going to pull my washi tape. And of course that one came off beautifully. It makes me a liar when I say, be careful, sometimes it rips. Okay, so now I have my balmy blue and I have another blending brush. And this time I'm going to apply the color kind of just at the top here and a little bit down, but not too much. I really just want, like, you can probably barely even tell on camera, but there's a hint of blue up there. I don't want it too dark, just like a little touch. So again, I'm going to hold my blending brush kind of low. I like to have that control. I'm going to pick up color and then starting off and then creep it onto my cardstock. And this one is going to take a couple of, I should do it like this, a couple of applications. If you were to go straight to your cardstock, you might get like a glob of color. So that's why you sort of start off and then make your way on to that. And then I can pull it up and look. I think I want just a little bit more, although it's pretty much where I want it. I didn't want anything too bright. The thing about the blending brushes is nice too, is that it does catch the edge. And so like up here along the edge of the basic white is a little darker. So it kind of accentuates that really nicely. Okay, a little bit more, and then we're going to call it quits. Now, if you wanted a much darker hue, you just keep applying it. And if you don't, you just leave it on the lighter side like I did. Okay, so I'm going to call that good and done. And set my brushes aside. Okay, next I'm going to stamp my snail and the sort of cluster of mushrooms. And for that, I'm going to use my, what's this thing called? Stamparatus, whatever this thing is called. Okay, so I will say that when applying ink to your Stamparatus, I'm going to try and do it this way. Although I apologize, you're catching the glares off of my outlights. I do apologize. I could try and push them out a little bit. When applying ink to your Stamparatus, these hinges, there's kind of like maybe, I don't know, like a 1-inch space. So when you're applying it, you tend to kind of bend them a little bit. But if you put an ink pad, fits like perfectly underneath it so that when you're applying ink, it's not bending your plates at all. So it's like the perfect height. Honestly, it's like it was made to be. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my my scene that we just created here, and I'm going to hold it down with my magnets. Now remember, don't let your magnets get near each other. They will break. Don't let them, and it's actually funny as I say this, because I think it might have been this time or the time before I was using my magnets, and they clung together, and I was like freaking out, and my husband somehow got them to separate without breaking, but normally they break. So try not to get them connected. Okay. Next, I'm going to take just a piece of vellum. So this is our vellum paper. It's pretty much see-through, and this is what we're going to use to get our placement. Now, it doesn't really matter where, like it doesn't have to be a specific size, but you want your magnets to hold down both the cardstock underneath and the vellum on top. And first I'm going to start with our mushroom here. Now I'm going to kind of guess where it goes, but I don't really know because it's not photopolymer. I can't look through it. And sometimes, although, we think, I don't have my stickers on, but if you put the sticker on and you don't put it on straight, or maybe the stamp is just a little off, even though you think you're putting something on straight, it doesn't exactly go on straight. So I'm going to aim for about there-ish. And then I'm going to bring it around my hinge and pick it up. Then I'm going to take my memento and I'm literally just going to dab it. It doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of ink on it, because what I'm going to do is stamp over my vellum, and then I can look through and I can see where it is. Now, I don't know how I did that, but that's pretty spot on. It's just about touching the green. And if I needed to adjust my stamp higher, lower, more to the left, more to the right, whatever, I can do that. The vellum is just giving me idea of placement. So if I had put my stamp on completely crooked and I stamped it crooked, then I have to compensate, right? I have to move it left, or I have to move it right. This is just kind of giving me a gauge. Next, I'm going to do this guy. I think I don't remember how I did that. I think I used, did I use the masking technique? I must have. That's the only way I could have done that, I think. So I'm going to kind of place again where I think I want the snail sort of close to my mushroom picture here without necessarily like overlapping it. So I'm going to put it here where I think it should go. I'm going to pick it up with my hinge. I'm going to grab my memento. I'm not going to do the masking technique yet because I just need to know placement before anything else. And that's pretty good. Maybe a little closer would have been fine. Oh, actually I should go up just a smidge. So I'm going to take this up and I'm going to move it. It's a little low. Let's see if I do it again, if that'll be better. Oh, now it's too high. Hold on, I overcompensated. How about that? Now, obviously, as you do it, it gets harder and harder. That's pretty good. Harder and harder to see, but you could always take your vellum off, put a new vellum down, and just kind of play with the placement again. The other thing that's interesting is if you're worried about like placement, you could also just take a pen, find one, or a marker or something, and just kind of like, mark, that's my corner. So that if this at some point falls off, it comes off, you know that that's the corner it has to hit. But we didn't have that problem. It didn't happen. So I know both my stamps are pretty much where I want them. You know, when I hinge them over, they're gonna hit just right. So now I can actually like stamp for real. Do it for real this time. I'm just gonna get that under. Okay, so let's ink it up. This is my Memento black ink. This time I really am making sure I get good coverage with inking. Hinge it over and just apply pressure on the back. Like so. And I'm going to gently lift off. Now, that's a pretty good plate. That's a pretty good coverage. It's very dark. This little space in there is colored in well. If it didn't get a good color and I wanted a little darker, I would just reapply my ink and hinge over again. Because I didn't move the paper, because I didn't move my stamp, it's going to stamp in the exact same spot. And so I'm good to go. But this is actually pretty good. This one, we'll see how this one does if I can find, there we go. Okay, I'm going to do the masking technique with this one. So I'm just taking a piece of my washi tape and I'm going to cover the words because I don't want the words. I just want the cute little snail. I'm going to be doing the hello separately. So I'm literally just covering, whoops, as I move everything. I'm just coloring the words there with my washi tape. Then I'm going to take my Memento ink. I'm going to ink him up again. Now I am stamping on that washi tape, but just a little, it's not horrible. Now, don't forget to take the washi tape off. I've done that before. That is trash. And then we're going to hinge around, apply pressure, and hinge up. That one on the bottom could use a little bit more. So I'm not going to use the washi tape again because I just want to reapply on the bottom. His legs, so to speak. Beautiful. That's much better. Okay. And that's what we get. So when you're using the cling stamp and you really want to get pretty precise stamping in a specific spot, or if we're using multiple images and you really want to make sure that they fit together, they're not overlapping or whatever, I really recommend A, using the Stamparatus, and B, using our vellum, because you can see through and you can really play with, do I need to move my stamp up? Do I need to move it over or whatever? It really helps you get that perfect alignment. And helps you not waste. Because I don't know about you, if you ever stamp something and it's like completely crooked and you're like, well, that was a waste and that goes in the trash and you start all over again. So Stamparatus and the vellum cardstock can really be a huge, just a valuable tool for us. Okay, so now let's color. This is the fun part. I am using Crumb Cake, dark and light of everything. So Crumb Cake, soft suede. This here is soft sea foam. I switched it up. On mine, I used mint macaron. But for today, I'm going to try soft sea foam. I think I'm going to like that a little better. And then the Poppy Parade for the mushrooms. So let's just start with the Crumb Cake, which is going to be, the Crumb Cake is the bottom of our mushrooms and the body of the snail. Now, I could have done this ahead of time, but I figured you could just sit back and enjoy me coloring. I'm going to start with, what am I starting with? The light crumb cake. And I have the brush end, but I may very quickly go to the more like ballpoint end. Let's see if I can stay within the lines. The brush end is great when covering like big spaces, but I find that the color does tend to bleed a little bit more when using the brush end. So you just have to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more mindful. Go slow, which isn't always my forte. I like to kind of zip through this. So you may want to use the ballpoint end. Okay, that's the light. Then I'm going to come in with the dark crumb cake and just add a little low lights here. I'll come back again and blend them in a second. But first I want to at least darken those areas. I don't want to work in too big a space. That's why I didn't go over and do the snail, because the color will blend as long as the ink is still wet. So if I wait too long, did I forget to do that? Oh my gosh, my eyes are so bad. No, I guess I didn't. If I wait too long, the colors aren't going to blend nicely together. So now I'm going to come back with the light crumb cake and just kind of bring those two spots, those two areas, the original area and then the darkened area, and kind of make them be friends. I love these Stampin' blends. Oh, I forgot the underside of that one. I'm not a huge colorer. I have a friend, she does it so beautifully and she makes it look so easy, but it doesn't come natural to me. So, but I find these blends are very user-friendly and very forgiving. They're not too overwhelming. So if you don't have these already, I highly recommend them. And gosh, I don't know how many of our colors, a lot of colors, not all of them, not all of our colors have Stampin' blends, but a lot of them do. Oh, well, while I have that out, I might as well do the snail. So for the snail, I'm definitely going to use the brush, and then I'll use the finer tip for his eyes, not his eyeballs, but the, I don't know, what's that called? The thing protruding to his eyes. Okay, just a reminder right now that I do have a couple things going on. If you place a $50 order through me in March, that's before tax and shipping, I will send you an upgraded spiral bound annual catalog. So the annual catalogs will be the 2021-2022 annual catalogs. I order them next month. I don't even know how that happened. This totally crept up on me. I had this aha moment last night, like, oh my goodness, I'm ordering catalogs next month. I couldn't believe it. So if you are looking for a spiral bound and interested, make sure you get that order in. I do recommend them with the annual catalogs being a little bigger, and they're just make it so much easier to browse through to have that spiral bound. It really does make a difference. The other thing I have going on right now is the Butterfly Brilliance collection is available now. I don't know if I want to use the brush end, or, oh well. Watch me totally mess it up. The Butterfly Brilliance collection is available right now. It went live today. I've shared a number of projects already. If you've missed any of them, be sure to check out my blog. The product is gorgeous. That paper that it comes with is stunning, really, really stunning. The bundle itself will carry over into the annual catalog, but the Butterfly Bijou Designer Series paper and the Natural Touch Specialty paper are limited time only, and they will not be carrying over. So if you order the collection through me in the month of March, I am giving away a free class to go that makes 4 cards in total. All the makings to make the cards will be sent to you automatically just for placing that order. And it'll come with all the makings for the 4 cards, and along with a PDF instructions to help you put the cards together. And nope, I thought I messed up for a second, but I did. And the cards are beautiful. I want to share them so badly because I think they're like my favorite cards that I've made with the collection. But only those that place the order and get the card class to go, we'll see them. So they're really, really pretty. I really love it. And the product in general, oh my goodness, is so pretty, especially that designer series paper. Okay, so I'm just coloring the tops of my mushrooms here with that Poppy Parade. And usually when I color, I pretty much stick to the same steps. I start with the light color. I come back with the dark to add just some, like low lights, some darkened areas. And then I come back with the light to blend them together. I pretty much, that's how I color every single time. I know some people do it, start with the dark and whatever, but whatever works for you is how you should color. I'm just going to color in the little heart. Of course, this time I am using the small ballpoint end. I don't dare use the brush on that one. Oh my goodness, that would be bad. Okay, so red is done. Now soft sea foam. Again, for mine here today, my sample here, I use the mint macaron. So we'll see which one we like more. I thought, I don't know. I figured I'd switch it up a little. We can decide which one we like. This may end up being like too light, or they may look very similar too. I don't know. Okay, so just plopping the color on these leaves. Definitely using the more pointed end for sure. Actually look pretty similar. I don't know. They look pretty similar. Okay. Then the last one is the Snail's Body, which I use soft suede. Kind of going to start with this. This is going to be the easiest one to color. Although watch me mess this one up. I got to go slow on the outside. But other than that, I can kind of plop it on. Okay, colored it in. Okay. Like so. And then I'm going to come back with the dark. The dark is pretty dark, I will say. I know that sounds ridiculous. The dark is really dark. But sometimes the difference isn't as stark with some of them. But this one I feel like is. Yeah, we'll call that a day. Okay. So that's done. I have a panel of basic white cardstock. It's just 1/8 bigger. So it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I have my Stampin' Seal back, thank goodness. The liquid glue serves its purpose, but I do love me some Stampin' Seal. I prefer it. Everybody's different. Some people love the liquid glue. I just can't. Okay, make sure it's opening right. I'm going to adhere it down with Stampin' Dimensionals because it's not a card unless there's Stampin' Dimensionals on it. And I actually just ordered more today because these are one of those things that like you always have on hand until you go to grab them and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm all out. Because you always have them on hand until you run out and then you're like scrambling. And I'm afraid. So I ordered some today. I'm going to flip it over. Okay, almost there. Now we're just going to do the cute little hello. I have a panel of, I almost said Whisper White. It's not Whisper White. It's basic white. And then I'm using this little word bubble and then the word hello. I am going to stamp the hello first because I can kind of see through the bubble. And I think I'll be able to get sort of good placement. At least that's how it was the first time around. If this doesn't work, then we'll just do it again. And I just realized I put my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine down. I'm going to have to put it back up so I can cut this out. Okay. See how you can kind of see through it a little bit? Again, I could use the Stamparatus technique, but these are so small that I'm going to try it one more time. That's not bad, but I'm going to try one more, see if I can get a little better. Oh, and of course I smudged that one. Hold on, let's try it. Use 2 hands. Okay, that's better. Now let's see. I think I rocked a little bit, and so I got a little extra. Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to rock. I'm not going to rock. Self-talk through. Okay, that's a little better. I want to go with that one. Okay, set that aside. Move that out of the way. Hold on. I moved it off my table, not realizing I was going to need it. Hold on. Okay. Got to get that up here. And then I'm going to use the coordinating snail dies. These are great. So again, you can buy the stamp and dies together as a bundle. You'll save the 10% when you buy it as a bundle. You could buy them separately, although I don't know why you'd want to spend the extra 10%, but whatever. There's some great images that coordinate with the stamp set, like this one. Wait, which one is it? This one, I think it is, cuts that little guy out. No, can't be. This one? Well, one of them cuts the snail that I stamped before out. This makes a cute little envelope and letter, and then we have some standalone cute heart and the mushrooms. But I'm going to use just the word bubble here to cut it out. I'm going to do it off screen here. Just give me a moment to set it up. And then we'll be almost done. Tomorrow, be sure to join me on Facebook. I have a really fun masculine birthday cards. I don't know about you, but masculine cards can be a challenge. I certainly find them to be. So I'm going to be making a masculine birthday card. So head on over to my Facebook group page. Make sure you like it so that you can get the notifications as to when I'm live. Hopefully you'll get the notifications. And yeah, you're going to really like it. It's kind of, I don't know if you'd call it a fun fold. I guess you'd kind of call it a fun fold card. So yeah. Okay, I kind of want the little bubble sort of, I must have gone a little farther left in the one today. This one's a little more right. Again, it all depends on how you stamp it and where you stamp it and everything. And then last but not least, I'm just going to do a very simple, in the inside, I stamped the Happy Mail enclosed. Yes. And as you're watching here, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get notifications when I go live. My plan is to go live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. So that's the plan as of now. So yeah, you don't want to miss it. I already put on the block the Happy Mail enclosed. I kind of went back and forth. I was going to do the mushrooms. I don't know. I went back and forth. In the end, I chose the Happy Mail. I'm going to ink it up really well. Okay. And then aim for the center. Although I have to be careful. I have this groove in my table. I'm going to go a little high. A groove in my table that sometimes makes it not stamp clean. That's pretty good. We'll call that good. And then what did I use? I did use the Crumb Cake. I wasn't sure what I used. I used the Crumb Cake just to color in the envelope. I guess I could have used the red, the Poppy Parade, but there's already a lot of red. Even, you know, you see it when you open the card. So I went Crumb Cake. Just a little detail. And you could leave it blank if you know you wanted to make it a birthday card or whatever. I've been trying to stamp more of the insides of my cards. I usually don't because I like to write a lot on the inside. But now that I'm stamping the insides and adding a little detail, I really like it. And it's just a nice little, like, there's a party on the inside too. Not just the outside. Okay, so we're going to call that done. This, by the way, was 4 by 5 1/4, the inside. And then if I could find my adhesive, there we go. And whoops. I'll put it on the inside and we're going to call it a day. Okay, there we go. How cute is that? So I hope you like the card. I hope you learn some tips and tricks when you're trying to use a cling stamp and get very specific placement for it. I hope you learned a thing or two. I hope you'll definitely check out the Stamped It Bundle. It's in the mini catalog right now, the January to June catalog. Super fun with the dies. Again, you'll save the 10%. Definitely check those out on my blog for to follow me on my blog, to follow me on social media, to place an order. Be sure to use the website jaimieb.com. That is JAIMIEB as in boy.com. That'll take you to all my links and you can follow me from there. If you have any questions, certainly leave those in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And this has been a lot of fun. I will see everyone back here, same time, same place, next Tuesday at 1. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.